Okay, it's quite a detailed question, so you have to be really careful what you're being asked to do. So you have to like get the information out of this question to boil it down to a simpler idea and then try and answer it. So on Monday, Tarek travelled by train from Manchester to London. Tarek's train left Manchester at 8:35 and it got to London at 11:05. The train travelled at an average speed of 110 miles an hour. On Wednesday, Gill travelled by train from Manchester to London. Gill's train also left at 8:35 but was diverted, so he had a bit of a bump in the journey there. The train had to travel an extra 37 miles. The train got to London at 11:35. Work out the difference between the average speed of Tarek's train and the average speed of Gill's train. Okay, so we know the speed it took there, okay, but we don't know the speed of the second train. If we have the time for this one, so to work with these calculations, you need speed, distance, and time. Oh no, so you need two of those. We have the time because we've got when it left and when it got there. We know it's an extra 37 miles, but we actually don't know how far it travelled. Anyway, we don't know how far it travelled because in the first one it just told us what the average speed is. It's quite a sneaky question where you actually have to work something out from here as well. So I need to work out the distance of the first journey so I can use it and add 37 to it to figure out the average speed for the second journey. Okay, so now I'm not a big fan of these triangles, but if you're not familiar with this, it's the best way to sort of get you into it. Okay, so I'm going to try and find the distance that this train has to travel from Manchester to London, okay, in the original one. So I want the speed, and I've got the speed, I want the distance, I've got the time. The time was from 8:35 to 11:05. Okay, so think about that. From 8:35 to 9:05, that's 30 minutes. And then so from 9:05 to 11:05, it's 2 hours. So it's 2.5 hours. And be careful when we're going between decimals and time because they are a bit funny. The speed we know is 110 miles per hour. And now we can figure out the distance. So we have the speed, we have the time. For after distance, these triangles help you figure out what to do. We're going to multiply these two together. So we're going to do 110 times by 2.5. Okay. There's loads of ways you can think about it. Okay, so I'm just going to try and do it a bit simpler. I could literally do 110 times by 25, doing the column method and taking my time. So I'm just going to do 110 times by 2 and 110 times by 0.5, and that'll help me figure it out. Okay, so 110 by that is 220. When you times by 0.5, it's the same as halving, so that's 55. And I can add them back together. Okay, so the distance from Manchester to London is 275 so far. Okay, so that's what we know from journey 1. The reason we needed that is because we knew that the second train was also doing that journey, but it got diverted and had to do an extra 37 miles. So for train 2, you've got 275 add 37, and that's the total journey that had to take. I should have done it this way so I could just add it. So that makes, my brain needs to go 12, that makes 11, that makes 3. So this train has to travel 312 miles. Okay. The reason I needed that, I couldn't calculate the speed of this train. I had the time because it was from 8:35 to 11:35. Excuse me.